Sometimes the simplest things are the best. No philosophy, just great results that gets eaten much faster than it's made. That's usually the best confirmation that something was a success. Starting the preparation in a different way, even though it's a yeast dough, by cooking the pudding first. 40 grams of pudding from one bag. 1 to 2 bags of vanilla sugar. And 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar. Regular sugar. 300 milliliters of water. Now mix it all together and take it to the stove to cook. Place it over medium heat to cook, and when it boils, keep stirring constantly until it thickens. And when you get this kind of density, remove it from the heat to cool. Instead of water, you can use any plant-based milk if you prefer. Next, prepare the yeast. You need 25 grams of fresh yeast or 7 to 8 grams of dry yeast. Take it like this and crumble it into a smaller bowl. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 tablespoon of flour. Now pour 200 milliliters of lukewarm water over it. Be careful, it shouldn't be boiling. Mix and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes to activate the yeast. In the meantime, prepare 700 grams of all-purpose flour. A pinch of salt. Melt 100 grams of margarine and let cool. Prepare 200 milliliters of water separately. Once the yeast is activated, put all 700 grams of flour in a mixing bowl. Add a pinch of salt. Add 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar to sweeten the dough a little. Now mix it all a little with a wooden spoon. Pour in 200 milliliters of water. And now pour in the melted margarine, about 70 to 80 grams. Leave the rest for drizzling later. And then pour in the activated yeast. Mix everything with a wooden spoon first. You almost don't need to knead this dough, as it's very soft. Remove the excess from the wooden spoon and now just toss it a little with your hand. No long kneading is needed, no tiring, nothing. The dough itself is very fine, soft, and very easy to work with. Now that it's almost kneaded, drizzle the rest of the margarine over it. Turn it over and continue kneading. That's all there is to kneading. Let the dough rest for 30 to 60 minutes. Once the dough has rested, 30 minutes is enough for it to soften a little. Knead it a little. It's still nice and soft. Then divide it. Now you can divide it into 12 or 15 pieces. Choose for yourself whether you want smaller or larger ones. Sprinkle a little flour here. If they start to stick, shape them into balls like this, so that they are all approximately the same size. First, shape them like this with your hand, and you don't have to be precise, since we'll roll them a little on the table again to give them a better shape. When you're done making the balls, Start fixing them. That means making them nice and round. And then close them like this. When you make them, put them in a lined baking tray. I lined the baking tray with baking paper, but I greased it with a little oil underneath. Just enough to make the paper stick. When you make the balls, press them all down a little with your hand like this. Melt a little margarine, then brush them from above. Brush, then cover with cling film. Put a cloth over the cling film and leave them to rise for 30 minutes. Remove film and cloth. Take a glass and press down on the middle like this. It shouldn't stick since we brushed them with margarine. But just in case, you can also dip the glass in flour and press so it doesn't stick. Glass work complete. Fix it a little more with your hand so that the filling can fit nicely. All these videos you watch where they do this with the glass, they all fix it. Now take this pudding and whisk it well. Then take a spoon and put it in each of these hollows. Put a little everywhere. You can easily add more if you have any left. I say a little everywhere and then poof. This amount of pudding is just enough to fill all these donuts. Okay, now you can put fresh fruit on top. You can put jam. It goes great, especially apricot jam. I wouldn't really recommend plum jam. It goes great with strawberries and raspberries. I'm putting strawberry preserve here. I'm choosing one strawberry like this since I don't have fresh fruit. And this frozen stuff is quite expensive. So I chose to put on strawberry preserve that I made last year. But here you can see how well it's kept. And you already have that recipe on our channel. So I'm going to do, oof, what a big strawberry. So I'm going to do half with strawberry preserve and half with apricot jam. My daughter really likes it with apricot, so apricot for her. For me and Grandma, strawberry. While the husband and son, they don't mind at all. They're not picky. Whatever you put on them, they eat. Okay, we've put on the jam too. Now let's move on. Let's turn on the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Now take 20 grams of margarine. Use the same dish in which you melted the margarine so you don't make a mess. Then add 20 grams of sugar. That's 1 tablespoon. And now add 2 smaller tablespoons of flour here, like this. And now press it all together with your hand like this, to combine it with the margarine to get crumbs. It shouldn't all combine with the margarine. Some of these dry parts should remain so we can sprinkle it all over our donuts. That should be about it. You should get crumbs like this. Sprinkle the made crumbs over the donuts. The oven is heated up, take them to bake. The donuts have baked. The baking time is 30 minutes. You can bake them longer if you want them crispier. But let me tell you right away that because they are not brushed with egg, they won't darken much around the sides. So don't overbake them. Brush them around the edges with a little margarine and leave them to cool slightly. And that's it. This is a combination I always return to, especially during Lent, because vanilla and jam go perfectly together. I hope you'll like it too.